This is Muscatine. Nowhere else is water so central to a community's identity, history, and daily life. It's the source and sustenance of life, cleansing, fun, refreshing. We're surrounded by water. In fact, they call this part of the state Muscatine Island.
And we're sitting on top of 100 billion gallons of water every day.
And we've got dozens of one-of-a-kind water features.
We grow food with it.
We are in awe of it.
And we put fires out with it.
We relax on it.
We make power with its steam.
We use it to make products used all over the world.
We learn with it, we teach with it, and we have fun with it!
We respect its fragility and protect it.
We transport and share our local resources upon it.
We use it to keep Muscatine beautiful.
Even our most famous fruit is known as watermelon.
A famous guy who wrote about life on the water lived and wrote here for a time.
Mussels that grew in our waters spawned an industry, and people worldwide fastened their clothing with pearl buttons made with it.
They call it the mighty Mississippi. Sometimes it gets a little carried away. Did I mention we were in awe of it?
Every day, we pump it.
We store it.
And we deliver 29 million gallons of it to homes and businesses every day.
We think it's the best tasting water anywhere.
Because the secret ingredient is pride.
Immerse yourself in Muscatine, where opportunity springs forth.
This contest struck a chord with many local Iowa communities. When MPW heard the governor announce the hometown water tower contest about 1 year ago today, we truly felt like it was meant to be. Our water tower was in need of refurbishment, and we actually had a project in the works to start a refurbishment in 2020. And with a stroke of fate straight out of a storybook, the artist that the state had partnered with for the contest was Laura Palmer, not only a Muscatine native, but whose father had crafted the original design that adorned Muscatine's water tower for the past 21 years. Our staff had the vision to pull together an incredible video for the contest, pulling in several members of the community to highlight the important role that water plays in Muscatine's daily life. We were absolutely overwhelmed by the support of the community during the voting process. When we won the contest, another set of great partnerships were born. We worked closely with the Iowa Finance Authority staff to coordinate the logistics. We began working closely with Laura to develop a truly one-of-a-kind design that highlights sources of pride throughout Muscatine. We also engaged our community to help us finalize which iconic images would adorn the tower. The result is a striking design that is uniquely Laura Palmer and also uniquely Muscatine. And I couldn't be happier with how the design turned out. And if you've caught our video here that's been on loop, you'll notice that another great partnership is in the works. Musco Lighting had the vision to upgrade the lighting for the water tower. And while the shots in the video are based on a temporary test setup, it highlights just how striking their color-changing LED lighting will look, bringing together another truly unique aspect to this project. Standing here seeing the culmination of the contest and of this project, I can't help but feel extremely lucky and extremely proud to have been a very small part of it. I'm also very proud to work with such talented staff at our utility, who not only helped craft this project, but also had the technical and engineering wherewithal to pull this project together and take the community's water tower out of service for several weeks, right in the middle of summer, without any impact to our customers. Great work, team. Thank you to the Iowa Finance Authority for your vision for this contest. Thank you to the Muscatine community for helping us write a story in a chapter of this great history of Muscatine. And thank you to all of our great partners for helping make it happen. Great vision, great partnerships, and great community. That's Iowa, and that's Muscatine. So thank you all for your part. And with that, I have the pleasure of bringing up Director Debi Durham of the Iowa Finance Authority and the Iowa Economic Development Authority. Please help me welcome Ms. Durham.
Well, first of all, good afternoon, and it is indeed a pleasure to be here. I have traveling with me Lori Berry, who actually leads our SRF division at IFA, and I have Ashley Jarrett, who is our communications director for IFA. I don't know all about you, but I have to speak that for this first time, this is the first time I've ever done a ribbon cutting for a water tower. So I don't know about the rest of you, but this is a unique experience. And I have to say that's really saying a lot, because I do, if not hundreds, thousands of ribbon cuttings across my career as Economic Development Director for this great state of Iowa. But I want to take a moment to tell you about the fun background and behind the scenes about how all of this actually came to be, and that we're here to celebrate this very unique event. So a few things happened in really rapid succession at our office. However, if you've ever spent time in our office, you would say everything happens in rapid succession at IEDA and IFA. I casually mentioned to our team that I would love to do work with this Des Moines-based artist who I am quite fond of, Laura Palmer. And so I also love to support small businesses, and particularly women businesses have a special place in my heart. So I'm thinking, when I said, let's find something to do with Laura, that I'm thinking there would be some kind of stationery product that would come. The next thing I know, my team sets me down and say, we have the perfect idea, a way to showcase both this incredible impact of this state revolving loan fund and this work of this incredible artist. And I said, Great, what is it? And they said, we're going to do a water tower. Well, I have to tell you, I was stunned. I mean, that's big thinking, right? Again, I'm thinking stationary redesign. And here we have this water tower. And I give Ashley Jarrett all the credit. If you ever need a creative thinking on your team, Ashley is the person to call. So after that, the idea was formulated and we were off and running. So the governor announced a call for entries for the Hometown Pride video contest at this time last year. She asked communities to show off their pride in a very short video for a chance to win a one-of-a-kind water tower designed by this Iowa artist. What followed actually blew us away. We received a total of 23 amazing, heartfelt entries showcasing the hometown pride of communities all over the state. The entries received a combined total of 35,000 votes, with 9,000 of those votes for this Muscatine's entry. And the contest concluded, it was brought to our attention that there was another amazing story of hometown pride in and of itself unfolded. Our predetermined artist for the contest, Laura Palmer's hometown of Muscatine, had rallied behind her to provide the opportunity to have their new tower designed by one of their very own. And the story doesn't stop there, and we'll hear from Laura. This is more than just the largest scale project she has done. It's the most meaningful. The story of Muscatine's new water tower is hometown pride in every sense of the word. A noted authority in the field of sustainable economic development, Dr. Ernesto Soroli, said, "The future of every community lies in capturing the passion, imagination, and resources of its people." I would say, based on the passion, imagination, and resources put forth by Muscatine Power and Water, the Muscatine community, and Laura's talents in this project we're celebrating today, it determines the community's future continues to be bright. So thank you, Mayor, and Muscatine Power and Water, DNR, and everyone that had a hand today for your incredible partnership. It is now my honor to introduce Director Lyons to say a few words. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Debbie. It's exciting to be here today and help unveil the beautiful new water tower wrap. We've been excited to be involved with this from the minute that Debbie's team reached out to us and asked to partner on this unique and fun campaign. It's so fun to see it come to fruition. As we all know, the quality of our water plays a fundamental role in the way we live. The Iowa State Revolving Loan Fund, or the SRF, is one of Iowa's primary sources for water quality financing. The DNR is proud of our partnership with the Iowa Finance Authority in administering the State Revolving Loan Fund program, which actually is how this Tower of Creativity got started, as a way to recognize the impact of the SRF and how it has water quality efforts throughout the state to the tune of 2,000 low-interest loans to communities. This program is a key financial mechanism for communities to affordably upgrade their water infrastructure, which is so critically important. This financing can help communities of all sizes as they face a wide array of water quality improvement needs. The State Revolving Loan Fund has assisted more than 650 unique Iowa water quality efforts in communities in advancing these projects. This financing totals more than $3.4 billion with a B, dollars in financing for water quality improvements. The program has saved Iowa communities a total of $33.4 million through interest rate reductions. Without this program, we wouldn't be able to have the great water quality that we need, and we wouldn't be able to have communities like Muscatine that we all love and support. With that, it is my pleasure to now introduce the artist that made the water tower we're celebrating today a reality, Muscatine's very own Laura Palmer.
Well, thank you, Director Lyon and Director Durham. I also thought it was going to be stationary. So I also wanted to especially thank Ashley Jarrett. She has been such a great guide for myself and Muscatine Power and Water through the process, and I can honestly say we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you so much for being here and for all the support you've given me through the project. So thank you. Well, I feel like we all here in this small but mighty group know a lot about how the tower came to be. But now I'm going to tell it from my side. I got the call and I laughed. I mean, how many people would say, you know, my dad's actually done that before? It's not a very common thing, I think, for most people to have this kind of run in the family. But after graciously accepting, I really felt like I'd be excited for any of the 20-plus cities. I mean, to be able to do something on this scale felt like a really big deal in my short-lived art career at this point. But then to have my hometown rally around the contest and to win, I mean, it's really a thrill. So thank you guys all for participating and giving me this chance. Well, to be celebrating here at Geneva is also pretty full circle for me. A few days after I turned 14, I think you can still work at 14, but then you're good. I started working here at Geneva as a bus girl, and I still fight the urge to like be tidying plates at the tables when I'm in this room, but eventually I worked my way up to managing the snack bar at the pool, which was a pretty big deal. And anybody who would listen, I would tell them the exact same story, probably more than once. I tend to tell stories a lot, the same ones, over and over again, but I would make sure to say that that water tower, the one that overlooked the golf course, was designed by my dad. So I know many of us look up to our parents, but mine are my artistic heroes. I got to grow up in a house surrounded by markers and all kinds of paper, and even an industrial-sized paper cutter, which probably wasn't safe for children, but we had it in the basement. My parents never pushed me to pursue a creative career, but every day they certainly modeled how to be successful in one. When I was a kid, I confidently declared that I would be an artist when I grew up. I drew myself wearing a beret and painting on an easel in a smock, and while it's taken me a while to get here, and I have never worn a smock, I'm really proud, even though it's been hard, to be living and working in Iowa and still pursuing that childhood dream that I've had for so long at this point. As artists, we don't often get the chance to talk about our work. It's supposed to speak for itself. So to me, those icons speak to my personal history with Muscatine. Those buttons on the tower not only speak to the Pearl of the Mississippi history and the history of the city, but they also speak to the family that my parents and I still celebrate Christmas with every year. That pennant speaks to, as Coach Jay would tell you, my athletic prowess as a basketball player, something I haven't tapped into in many years, but also the class of 2001 and the friendships that I still maintain all these years later. That bridge, it's a view I took for granted for so many years, but really get excited to see when I come home to see my parents and to be with my 3 sisters. But personally, the nod to my dad's design speaks how proud I am to follow in his footsteps. Oh, okay. I worked really hard to illustrate something that I felt like was a fun and whimsical ode to my hometown. The team at Muscatine Power and Water, thank you guys so much for all of your ideas and enthusiasm and helping bring this project together. With Ashley and IFA, I just can't thank you all enough for the opportunity to create something so meaningful and honestly so big. It's been such a thrill. I just hope that the city of Muscatine is as proud as I am of the final result, and that when you drive by and look at it, that you feel like it's a joyful representation of a truly unique city that I'm proud to be from. So thank you all for the opportunity to speak today, to be here with you, and to share my art with the whole city and the greater Iowa community. So with that, I have the pleasure of introducing the Honorable Diana Broderson, Mayor of Muscatine, whom I have not met, but I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much.
Wow, look who they put me to follow. Well, I wanted to thank everybody for coming today as we dedicate the new face of Muscatine's water tower. I would like to also thank each and every person who took the time out of their schedules to go on and vote so that we could win the contest and make this remake a possibility. The staff at Muscatine Power and Water have worked very hard to make this day possible, and we thank Gage for every step that his entire team took throughout this entire process on behalf of all of us. When I went out to MPW in February to preview the changes that were going to be coming and look at the new design, it was obvious that so many people had went on and voted for the different things that they wanted to be on the new water tower, making that task for them to choose so hard. So I know they worked extremely hard. I would also like to thank Director Durham and your staff at the Iowa Finance Authority for thinking outside of the box and making this awesome opportunity available to us. Big thanks also to Director Lyons and her support from the Department of Natural Resources, and certainly to the very talented artist Laura Palmer. Your roots in Muscatine gave you that direct insight into what makes Muscatine special and how best to showcase how wonderful we are, and you can just tell that just that added is what makes it so special. The symbols on the tower show us that our heritage and all that we hold now dear are all up there for the world to see. Our watermelons, our river, our bridge, our pearl button history with clamming, and certainly our school spirit. Many of these things we can thank our predecessors for, which reminds me of a poem by Robert Louis Stevenson called Block City. I'd like to read that for you now. What are you able to build with your blocks? Castles and palaces, temples and docks. Rain may keep raining and others go roam, but I can be happy and building at home. Let the sofa be mountains, the carpet be sea. There I'll establish a city for me. A kirk and a mill and a palace beside, and a harbor as well, where my vessels may ride. Great is the palace with pillar and wall, a sort of a tower on top of it all, and steps coming down in an orderly way to where my toy vessels may be lying safe in the hay. This one is sailing and that one is moored. Hark to the song of the sailors on board, and see on the steps of my palace the kings coming and going with presents and things. Our new water tower represents all of these things for all of us. It's been a beautiful day here in Muscatine. We had a little bit of rain, but the sunshine now further highlights our new water tower that can be seen and enjoyed by not only our local folks, but by those traveling through our fine city. They will also get a glimpse of how special Muscatine is. I want to thank everyone who had a part in making this project a possibility. We're very appreciative, every person here is. And next, I would like to introduce Erika Cox, the Director of Customer Experience and Technology. Erika?
Well, thank you all for coming out today. I was reflecting on a tagline that we use at MPW, connecting people to life, and how the essence of water in this contest really embodies that. Our winning video illustrates how water is the essence of life, the role water plays in our well-being, and how a community came together for a common cause. Water brings us together with family and friends. We depend on water to transport goods and help feed our communities, connecting people to life. Thank you, Ashley and Laura, for working through this process with us. It was fun. You were amazing to work with. I hope that this experience leads you to believe that another community can do this as well, and we're thankful and appreciative to be the first. Thank you also to the Iowa Finance Authority and the Iowa Department of Natural Resources for your dedication to communities across Iowa. Those efforts do not go unnoticed. Thank you all for coming out on this beautiful day. We're going to adjourn now. We're going to have a few people exit through this door to take a photo for the ribbon cutting opportunity. And if you didn't have a chance to already, we invite you to go through the bar room and gather some food. And we thank our painting contractor, J.R. Stelzer, for being our beverage sponsor, and to the Iowa DNR and MPW for being the appetizer sponsors. Thank you for coming today.